When we're talking about the NBA, there's tons of guys who can score the ball, but Shai Gilgeous Alexander makes things look easy. In his last 7 outings, Shai has had 3 50-plus point games, and to say the least, he's simply destroying the league. With a mix of creativeness and pure focus, this is when you get someone who can pick apart the defense in many ways, and with Shai always reacting off what the defense does in a quick manner, it's hard to stop him even if you're glued to him. Prime example, when ISOing on Looney here, Shai knows that he could attack downhill going right, but he also understands that the help defense will close in on him if he does, and that Looney is already plotting on the drive. So instead of pushing all the way to the rack, Shai explodes towards the paint getting low, which makes Looney play the drive. And with Shai getting exactly where he wants, he can elevate over the contest without even being affected.
Again, mid-range jump shot, so smooth, so consistent.
See, it's simple, just like 1 + 1 = 2, because with 1 move served and 1 shot up, it's another 2 points on the board. Shai doesn't force these shots on the floor, he just goes where he's invited. With the fear of his driving in mind, the defense decides to be nice and send the invite to a wide open 3-pointer. And when they send him the address to pull up to the party, Shai can control his body even if things get a little feisty, and this one here is pure butter. Players like SGA tend to not have as many traditional highlight plays such as nasty crossovers, dunks, alley-oops, and all that good stuff, because although he can score at will, he doesn't choose to do it while being overly flashy or getting high off the ground. His athletic nature comes in different ways that the average viewer may not even notice. His ability to change paces can set the defense in park while he speeds off, and the way he can shift the direction he's going without losing any momentum can break defenders totally as they watch him go score. I understand that it isn't the most eye-catching stuff to some people, but if you're watching this, I'm pretty sure you know how valuable these skills are. Take a look at this play here. We're going to see the change of pace in real time. So once Shai puts the ball on the deck, you see that he chooses to move a little slow. The reason he starts off slow is because he's reading the whole entire floor and how Dennis is going to play this action. Yes, you heard me correctly, I'm talking about the help defender, not even his primary man. The reason for that is because he already knows he can beat his man off the dribble, but depending on how Dennis plays this, Shai will either already plan to get into a mid-range jumper or try to take it all the way to the basket. When resuming the play, you're going to see Shai speed up towards the basket once Dennis turns to chase Wallace, and now with no one in the paint to stop him, just go ahead and chalk up 2 more. Now, do you kind of see how the pace change can work in your favor? Well, this time, it's going to be the change of pace along with the change of direction. When coming up the floor, Shai is going to have the double screen set to come off of, so with that slow approach to read the court, Shai notices Gui running at him to blitz the handle, so he abruptly shifts directions going through his legs with the crossover, and with that speed added on to that, it made it to where no defender could get right in front of him, and now it's an and 1.
Rumors as SGA scores off glass and draws the foul.
As you can see, he used both skill sets as a weapon in the same play, and that's what separates players in the league. When you're an MVP level type player, you understand how to use your abilities to destroy the defense, even if it takes you using multiple in one attack. Sometimes the defense will cut you off so you have to change plans, and other times the court will be more crowded so you need to be able to navigate correctly. This right here is where that direction change is so valuable, because going out to the 3 here would lead to a total reset in possession, but when you can serve that behind the back and a quickness to go back towards the rim, here's where you catch the defense off guard, granting you an easy bucket. Trust me, it truly doesn't need to be that hard. You just have to be thinking on your feet. If Shai was to actually attack down this left side, he would go into a world of trouble with 1, 2, 3 Warriors defenders potentially closing in on him. But since he gets low and has mastered the art of selling, he's able to get Wiggins to bite hard on the hezzy cross back towards the right, and then once arriving at the rim, Shai uses the up and under to avoid any contact from Looney.
Obviously, look at that. I mean, he can score at all levels.
This ability to navigate on the court in such a slick manner is what makes Shai one of the most unguardable players in the league. It may seem like you have him right where you want him, but the thing is, Shai is always 2 steps ahead, not 1 behind. When forced to the sideline on this action, Shai already knows the help defense is going to slide to help over. Now with some improved playmaking, this zip across the court to the corner is a great option to go to. But as you can see, Shai is getting into Wiggins' body to bump off of him, to then feed Gui the Euro once meeting up, and this one right here is just nasty.
The step through, around and down, plus a foul.
You'll have these times where the defense may stop him one way, so he has to go back the other, and at this point, if you're the defense, it feels like you got him going where you want him, but sadly, the joke's on them as Shai will initiate the slight bump into a snatchback, which allows him to now attack down this left side, and with 1 more bump to create space, this one is pure money. That right there is another weapon Shai uses to make scoring easy, and what I'm referring to is him using his shoulders to create gaps between him and his defender. If you look around the league, a lot of guards depend on the handle and speed to shift past defenders to get to their spots, but in the half-court setting, that's not always a feasible option. With Shai using that strength to his advantage, he's able to carve out space for himself that was never present, and with these bumps coming out of nowhere, the defender is usually left watching the ball fall through the net. As you can see here, Shai used the handle and speed to start this pursuit on Keyonte George, but Keyonte stayed right with him. At this time, many players will try to use the spin move or find a kick out option, but when you have that strength advantage on your defender, here's where we see Shai just lower that shoulder right into George while stepping back, and this one is straight cash. Many times when Shai is pushing towards the rim like this, the defense is so wary of the drive that they prepare for it in their minds, so when he lunges into the defender abruptly, their balance is thrown all the way off, and it may not seem like much, but this gap here is all the space needed to knock down the shot. That stun gun of Shai isn't just used on smaller guards, as he can use it to put out bigger guys, and even if he gets one guy off him, but then they recover with 2 contests, Shai is just too locked in to be bothered. It's subtle things like that bump that just separates him from other guards, as sometimes he's not able to get that head of steam to push towards the basket, so he can turn his back and initiate a post up, and right when shooter tries to position up to be strong, here comes a spin off that leads to a gimme at the rim. Like I stated earlier, all his skills can transfer into multiple areas on the floor, so when you have a guard who can not only be physical when driving, but can also slow it down to work out the post, it says a lot about the versatility he possesses. As a defender, when you guard someone who has many moves at their disposal, it's difficult to dictate what they're going to do next, and with Shai, it's crazy that he gets to where he wants in the most simplest way, but it's all because he makes his move at the exact right time. Take this play for an example. When catching in the post-up position here, Shai already knows he's going to attack the rim going right. So with him swinging that right foot to the outside, this makes it easier for him to beat Pods off the dribble, as he's already in an aggressive attacking position while Pods is trying to recover. Now with his sight set on the rim with Looney coming to help, Shai used that wraparound extension with the left hand, and boy was this a special finish. When coming up the floor here, Shai could opt into a pull-up over the top since Jones continues to backpedal, but that's the thing, every move Shai serves is for a purpose. So with him feeding this pound dribble jab, this makes Jones slide back slightly due to him thinking Shai is going to attack the rim, and bada bing, it's money team. This level of attention and understanding how the defense will react to certain moves is the base of Shai's game, and it's the sole reason as to why he doesn't have to do much, but much is still accomplished. Just because you have a big on you doesn't mean you need to try and beat him off the dribble to the rim every time, as that's exactly what they're expecting, so why not hit him with a snatchback? Instead of playing too fast and running into the double, why not slow down to spin away, and then rather than flying into the big, go ahead and use that floater. And then when a defender is right on your hit when you're pursuing the rim, don't panic, just get into your shot, which makes them back off due to a potential foul, and then focus all the way through for a bucket. I know, I get it, some people will get irritated and say he's a free throw merchant and say he doesn't play ethical basketball, but guess what? I'm here to say that's all cap. Shai is one of the most creative and efficient scorers we have ever seen. Like for real, you know how many of my guys hit major parlays off taking the over on Shai? Nah, I'm playing around, but for real, Shai consistently delivers when he steps on the hardwood, and he makes the game look easy while he operates. It doesn't matter the team, the location, or the time. Shai is ready to pick apart the defense and put on a masterclass of what it's like to make scoring in the NBA look easy. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. I thank you all for your support, and I'll see you in the next video.